Welcome to episode 6 of the Total Sports Northumberland podcast. I'm Jeff Gard, bringing you interviews each week from Northumberland County and beyond. You can find the podcast each week at totalsportsnorthumberland.ca and stream or download on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify. In just a few minutes, I'll speak with this week's Athlete Spotlight guest, 12-year-old Noah Skiok, who lives in Grafton and plays hockey for the Northumberland Nighthawks. He'll also join me to speak with three-time Stanley Cup champion Justin Williams. First, in news you can find at totalsportsnorthumberland.ca, James Dumanoir, who played football at St. Mary Catholic Secondary School in Cobourg, and now with the Ottawa GGs at the university level, recently received East-West Bowl recognition. According to a joint statement from U Sports and the Canadian Football League, there is no East-West Bowl game this year, but the 110 players recognized are considered top prospects for the 2022 CFL Draft. James is expected to join me on an upcoming episode of the podcast. The Cobourg Cougars have planned their annual golf tournament for August the 15th at Dalewood Golf Club. Cost is $600 per foursome and includes a welcome gift, 18 holes of golf with a cart, and a barbecue meal. You can register at cobourgcougars.com. The Northumberland Bulldogs Special Needs Hockey Program has openings for new players on its junior and senior teams. The Bulldogs' home arena is the Baltimore Recreation Center. During a normal regular season when games are being played, the Bulldogs also travel to play teams in the Toronto area. I caught up with Northumberland Bulldogs President Brian Brown so he could share some information about the organization.
All our players are all special needs, and they are of every age, and boys and girls. There is no age limit. There's also no skill limit as well. Our registration, we charge $300 a year, and that gets you a jersey and socks and all of your ice time, practice and playing time, and a banquet at the end of the year. Special needs is such a wide, it covers everything, from ADHD, Down syndrome, autism, everything. It covers everything. All we ask is that you know how to skate, and we will actually teach you hockey skills. Right now we have two teams. We have a junior team, and we also have a senior team. And you could be any age. Whether you're on the juniors or the seniors, doesn't matter about your age. It simply goes by skill level. So theoretically, you could have a 50-year-old on the juniors. It doesn't matter. But we have trained staff. Most of our staff has special needs children in the program, so they definitely understand what it's all about. And we have trainers, we have bench supports, and they are all fully trained. We have to take courses every year for this, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. It's something that, for the most part, these players could not play in a house league or rep team, and for us, for them, it gives them a chance of pride, opportunity to have pride in playing on a team with a jersey. And you know what? If you ever want to see what true hockey is, you need to come out and see these guys. They are truly just happy to be there.
Anyone wishing to register or needing more information can check out northumberlandbulldogs.com for contact information. You can also follow the Bulldogs on Facebook. Also, as the organization continues to grow, more volunteers are needed and welcome. If you want local sports news from Northumberland County, check out totalsportsnorthumberland.ca. You can also follow us on Facebook and Twitter. Last week, my guest on Athlete Spotlight was 12-year-old Madeline Skiok. This week, I'm speaking with her twin brother, Noah. Noah, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me.
I asked Madeline about you. She said you were a little annoying, just so you know. So I got to give you a chance to respond, but tell me something about having a twin sister and like Madeline.
She's nice. She's sometimes rude to me and annoying. Yeah.
Is it nice that you guys share a bond, not only as a twin, but you both really enjoy sports as well?
Yeah.
So you're a big hockey player. Tell me about how you got into hockey and how long you've been playing.
I started when I was 3, and my mom took me out on skates, and I did not enjoy it because I did not know how to do it. But then I started to get the hang of it, and I really liked it.
So yeah, just learning to skate would have been a challenge. What was the challenge of learning to play hockey? Do you remember?
Probably skating like fast and like stopping, turning when I was little.
Mhm.
It was hard to do that.
Tell me about the first teams you played for. Was it in Whitby?
Yeah, it was the Whitby Wildcats. And for like I played rep. The first time I played rep was Whitby Wildcats. It was in MD7, I think.
Do you remember ever coming to like Coburg or Port Hope to play any games?
I think so. I remember playing the Nighthawks too.
Yeah. I asked your sister about this too. Like, what was it like moving to a new community, and did playing sports help you, meet new people?
Yeah, I definitely did because like all my friends right now are from my hockey team. If I didn't play hockey, I wouldn't have met them.
So it probably really helped you settle into your new town.
Yeah.
What do you love about playing hockey?
I like I like it how it's like competitive, and I really like competitive,
Mhm.
and I like skating really fast.
Can you talk about the position you play and again what you enjoy about that?
I like left wing because it's like one of the most like aggressive forwards because whenever it's on your side, you have to get it, or like yeah, and yeah, it's really good.
What do you find the biggest challenges of hockey to be, and what you're still learning and working on?
Um, I'm learning how to get like a really really hard shot.
Yeah.
Um, do better at stick handling.
So what are the challenges of learning those skills, do you think?
As it just needs to take a lot of time to get better.
Just a lot of practice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Madeline said she was practicing her figure skating out in the backyard during the winter on a rink, and you also would take up part of the ice. Did you enjoy getting that outdoor time on the outdoor rink?
Yeah, she was not happy.
Yeah. What did you enjoy about getting to play on the outdoor rink in your backyard?
I liked it because I haven't been able to play in hockey for a while because of COVID. So I liked how I can have one in my own backyard and I can go anytime.
What do you really miss about getting to go and play and practice at the arena?
Because like basically all my friends are at practice and I can't see them,
Mm-hmm.
and it's fun with my coaches.
Yeah, is there any coaches locally you've had that you want to mention?
I like Tyler Campbell. Have you know him?
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, me and his son are best friends.
Oh, very nice. What do you enjoy about being coached by Tyler?
I like him because he's nice and he makes us work.
That makes you work hard, eh? So what are some of the tough practice drills he puts you through?
He usually likes to put us through one-on-one drills.
Yeah.
No, those.
Tell me a little bit about your favorite players and teams.
I like the Toronto Maple Leafs, and I like Mitch Marner, Austin Matthews, and Tavares.
Yeah, great team they have this year. What's your prediction for the Leafs in these playoffs?
I don't know. Since Tavares got injured, I don't know now. But Leafs smoked the Montreal last night,
Yep.
and so I think that they might win the first playoff.
You think they're going to make it past the first round this year?
Yeah,
Yeah.
once.
What do you, so yeah, like I said, it's a great team they've put together. What is it you really enjoy watching about guys like Austin Matthews and Mitch Marner and the rest of the team?
I like them because it's like they like do the best sellies when they score.
You talk about wanting to work on your shot. Austin Matthews has quite a shot, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does.
Are there any other teams, even in other sports, that you like to watch?
No, not that much.
No. Maybe talk about some of the other sports you like to play.
I like to play golf.
Yeah. What do you enjoy? Hockey players seem to love golf. What do you love about golf?
I like it because like it's like you're because it's like not a team sport. It's not a team sport, so I like having a team sport and not a team one. It's
Mm-hmm.
fun to do, and I just like the game because it's really fun, and I can go with my friends and play.
What's I talked to you about the challenges of hockey. What about in golf?
Um, Try to not get angry because then you'll just throw your game.
Right.
I've done
Yeah.
that before.
So where do you like to golf?
I like to golf at Dalewood. I had a membership last year, but are we gonna get one? Yeah, we're gonna get one this year.
Well, and we talked about you not being able to go to the hockey rink for a while now. You haven't been able to golf either, so that must have been disappointing as well.
Yeah, I went golfing yesterday because it opened.
Oh, very good. So you've already been out on the course. How did it feel to get out on the course?
It was different, but I liked it.
Well, Noah, I know our next guest also loves hockey and golf. You're going to join me for my conversation with Justin Williams. If you know an athlete who should be in the spotlight, go to totalsportsnorthumberland.ca and fill out the form on the athlete spotlight page. They can join me on the podcast to talk about their sports background and also join me to chat with my other featured guest on that episode. My next guest is a 3-time Stanley Cup champion and Conn Smythe Trophy winner from Coburg, of course, Justin Williams. Justin, it's been a long time. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you. I'm glad we could all make this happen. It seems like the thing to do here, the Zoom calls. I'm glad you guys, unfortunately, soon we'll be able to make it out of quarantine here.
Absolutely. Yeah, so a new feature on the podcast is Athlete Spotlight, and I was joined today by 12-year-old Noah Skiok of Grafton, who plays hockey for the Northumberland Nighthawks. So, Justin, please say hi to Noah.
Hi, Noah. How are you?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing just fine. How old are you again?
12 years old.
12 years old. Okay. So would you be starting to hit in hockey yet? Would this be the first year or next year?
I think it would be next year.
Next year, huh? Okay. Gotcha. It's a little bit different here in Canada because my son's 12 also, and this is his first year of hitting. But he was born in 2008. So were you born in 2009?
Yeah, I was.
Okay, nice. Great. Well, nice to meet you, Noah.
Nice to meet you too.
So, Justin, first off, you took a break at the start of last season, and then you did make a comeback and had the playoff run with the Hurricanes, and then you did retire. Just wondering, after playing hockey almost all your life and an amazing NHL career, what was it like to go through that process of actually making the decision to retire?
Well, I think first off, I'm very, very fortunate in the fact that I was able to go out on my own terms. And usually guys at my age, 38, now 39, but, was 38. You don't usually get that ability to do that. The game slowly pushes you away, and sometimes it gets taken from you before you want it to. But I was ready. I had thought about it for years. I think it's just human nature to really think about it. When's it going to end? But you just keep puttering along and keep trying to be effective and as long as teams want you and you're an effective player out there and you still love the game, which, I did all three. I was like, all right, I can continue to play. But you got to really have that commitment to do everything else also. And, just this past year, I didn't quite have that.
What was it like to be able to end your career with the Hurricanes? So, because obviously you made the decision to settle with your family in Carolina. It's obviously a place you love, and you must have really enjoyed your time there before. And it's where you won your first Stanley Cup. But yeah, what was it like to end your career with the Hurricanes?
Yeah, I mean, it's always felt, I was drafted by Philadelphia. My wife's from the Philadelphia area. I have, some ties to that area too. But I mean, Carolina's always felt it just kind of held like a special place. And obviously that helps when you win a Stanley Cup with the franchise for the first time and have the great experiences that I had here. My son was born here. So, I mean, a lot of things happened for me in my life here that were very positive, and we enjoyed living here. So coming back, was something that just kind of happened. Nothing that I planned. You never really plan anything in hockey. That's the worst thing you can do. You just go out and play and enjoy the game. And, sometimes you get traded, sometimes you don't. And it's very, very, very rare that a player plays his whole career with one team. And, you just take it, roll with it. That's kind of what I did, but it was certainly special to end it here.
So, what has retirement life been like? At least in terms of not playing the game anymore, but what's it been like so far?
Yeah, it's been fine for me. I think partly because I have a ton of interests outside of hockey. My wife would probably say I have too many, but I have two young kids at 12 and 10 now, who I coach. They both play hockey, so I help coach that whenever possible here in Carolina. I've started to play a lot more tennis. I've always loved the game of golf, so I play that quite often. Starting to learn the guitar, trying to work on a truck, doing some woodworking. I mean, I have a ton of things that I can occupy my mind with, and I think that's really important.
Yeah, I was going to ask you later, but I'll do it now about tennis and golf, because we've often seen you in attendance at some of the big tournaments. What are some of the favorite golf and tennis tournaments you've been able to attend? And what do you just love about those sports?
Well, the thing is, it's weird. I don't know if it's weird, but it's different. The fact that they're individual sports, right? I mean, I played a team sport my whole life, but though, golf and tennis, if you're not playing doubles, I suppose it's an individual sport. So you're out there by yourself. And I like the discipline of it. I like the commitment. I enjoy watching the world's best give everything they got, and seeing how deep you can dig. I like how you have to self-discipline yourself in both of those sports. There's no one that's going to come up to you and say, hey, come on, get it together. Or, if you miss a play, a defenseman's going to be there or a goalie's going to be there to stop it. I mean, it's just you out there. So I enjoy both those sports, and it's good for me once, I'm done playing hockey, that I can remain competitive in something.
You're not that far away. Have you ever been able to play golf at the home of the Masters in Augusta, Georgia?
I've been able to play there, yes, once, and it was quite a dream. It just seems like I guess just a mythical place that you see on TV that maybe you'd never be able to go see. But I've been able to do it once, and it was everything I imagined it would be.
Did you have a good round?
I wish it could have been better, but it wasn't a great round. No, but even when I hit a bad shot, I still had a smile on my face.
I mentioned retirement, but you were actually hired in February as a special advisor to the general manager with the Hurricanes. What is it like to get back into the game in that way, in a front office kind of role?
Yes. It keeps me relevant and keeps me, unfortunately right now with obviously the times that we're living in right now, I haven't been able to be as close to the players this year. as I would like to have been, right? I mean, there's only a certain amount of people who are allowed access to the dressing room at any given time. And, it's kind of a tight ship to run. So, I'm hoping next year to be a little bit more involved in the players' side. And, but it's been interesting, just kind of giving advice and seeing the other side of the game, going from player to management side is different. And I just want to see if I can be obviously good at it. If I can evaluate players, if I can look at this side of it and be capable of making those decisions and helping out make those decisions, and B, if I like it. So far it's been very interesting. I'm dipping my toe in and learning a lot from Tom Dundon, Don Waddell, Rod Brindamore, all the staff, and just trying to see if it interests me, which it does so far.
I'll ask you a little bit more about the Hurricanes in a bit, but you mentioned coaching your kids. What is Coach Justin Williams like, or how would you describe Coach Justin Williams?
Well, I mean, it depends if you're coaching your son or you're coaching somebody else's kid. But, no, I mean, we have a pretty good understanding, myself and my kids. There's Coach Justin, and then there's Dad. When we're at the rink, I'm coach. I'm not dad. And when we're at home, then I'm dad. So you can separate those things. I feel it's been pretty good. And I know the kids enjoy having me out there. I mean, at least that's what they tell me anyway. But I enjoy. I really wasn't sure if I would really like it. And quite frankly, again, if I'd be any good at it. I mean, I know what to do out there, but can I coach it? Can I instill these qualities? Can I help teach the game of hockey to the younger group? And right now, I'm really enjoying it. As I said, I wasn't sure if I would, but I'm really enjoying going to the rink and seeing kids develop and helping a team grow. And I mean, as long as kids, look you in the eye and don't mess around out there and want to get better and take to your advice. I mean, that's pretty rewarding.
Like we talked about, Noah is 12. Do you have any advice for Noah, considering the stage of development he would be at right now?
Yeah, I mean, I think if Noah picks his favorite player, Noah, so who would be your favorite player in the NHL right now?
Austin Matthews.
Austin Matthews. Okay. So Austin Matthews. So with Austin Matthews, he is one of the hardest workers in practice. And I think that's what people kind of don't really see. They see the Austin Matthews that goes out there and has an unbelievable shot and a great release and a great competitive mantra about him, and he just goes out with his unbelievable talent and he just does it. But the practice that he puts into it, the best players are always the hardest workers, and it doesn't just mean in the game; it means in practice as well. And that's what I really want to push home with kids. It's not go out there and just mess around, and it's go out there and work your tail off in practice too. That's the only way you get better. I mean, you look at Sidney Crosby, you look at Connor McDavid, you look at Nathan McKinnon, all these unbelievable players. Sorry, are you a forward, Noah?
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, okay, so perfect. So am I. So those are the guys I kind of look at too. And if you're able to go to a practice, obviously not this year, but anytime in your future, you just watch these guys and they work their tails off at practice. And when your hardest workers are your best players, your team's in really good shape.
Justin, what was it like for you to play against a guy like Austin Matthews?
I mean, listen, he's, when I played against him in the first few years in the league, you want to see what they're made of, right? You have these highly touted prospects who come in and you wonder if it's going to be flop or if it's going to be, what people have kind of expected. And I mean, he's everything is advertised, and actually probably better than what people said. He's able to do things that not a lot of people are able to do. But it's not just by chance. He's worked at it, and he's taken on the role of leader, of guy that's going to be relied upon, and he's taken it with all in stride. He's a great kid, only going to get better, and I wish him all the success. Albeit just not when they're playing the Hurricanes.
Can you take me back to when you were young in this area, in the Cobourg Port Hope area, Justin?
Mm-hmm.
Not just hockey, but what did sports mean to you, and what were some of the other sports you played?
Geez, sports for me was just kind of a way of life, right? I mean, you go with your friends. I played every single sport that I could get my hands on. In high school, I played volleyball, I played basketball, I played rugby. I don't know how my parents let me do that, but they let me play rugby. I played baseball, tennis. I mean, anything I could get my hands on, I played. And obviously, hockey was always number one with me. Like it was always just a step above everything else. But I mean, learning other sports is good for your hand-eye. And quite honest, when you can learn other sports and play other sports, it really just helps your athletic prowess. And in hockey, I think you need, it's the most athlete driven sport. You got to be able to do everything. Great hand-eye, obviously skating, you got to do it all with blades on the ice. So, I mean, it's any sport that you play will help you in hockey. And you see these guys that tip pucks. I mean, that's just great hand-eye. And, guys will go up and catch a puck with their hand, put it down. I mean, all of your athletic ability is used in hockey.
I want to get a comment quickly too about your parents, Craig and Denise. I mean, I still see them all over town all the time, and I haven't actually talked to them in years, but just talk about their support over the years, and still to this day, I'm sure.
Yeah, I mean, really isn't any more you can say about mom and dad that I haven't already said. I mean, they're my absolute rocks. They're my biggest cheerleaders. They're my biggest supporters. They're the reason I've been able to have the success that I've had in hockey and in life. And they instill the values that create the person that you are today. And I'm trying to reciprocate that into my kids right now. So, you take what you liked from your childhood and you try and pass it along and be a good person. And mom and dad are the best.
For sure. Well, Noah's got a few questions for you now, so Noah,
all right,
take it away.
What was it like when you won the Stanley Cup?
What was it like when I won the Stanley Cup? So Noah, just think of your ultimate dream, and your ultimate dream might be winning the Stanley Cup. I'm not sure. It might be something else, but just think of your ultimate dream and think of being able to achieve that with 20 players that you worked the whole year with, and counting down the last few seconds, and the absolute euphoric sense of happiness that you get is quite incredible. And it's not really something you can explain, but it's reaching that goal is very emotional. And you can obviously tell from when guys raise that Stanley Cup how much it means to them to be working your whole life to get that ultimate goal and reaching it. It's pretty inspiring.
Justin, you won the Stanley Cup 3 times, including twice you got to bring it back to this area for your day with the cup. Very different experiences. What do you remember about that one in 2006 when you won with the Hurricanes? I remember, a big event scheduled for at Dalewood Golf Club, and a big golf tournament. Lots of great teammates showed up to support you for that, and like former teammates as well. I remember like Keith Primo, Simone Gagne, Jonathan Chichu, Craig Ramsey was there as well, one of your coaches. It rained a lot that day, didn't it? But Yeah, what do you remember about that day with the Cup in 2006?
Yeah, that was unfortunately the weather didn't cooperate that day, and it's amazing to me that that was close to 15 years ago.
Yeah,
It's coming up on 15 years, and that to me is it's kind of tough to take, but yeah, I brought it back to Dale, and actually have a picture with it right here, right in my office. Look at that,
very nice.
myself with Mike Bull. It's right at Dalewood, right there.
Another former Coburg guy, right? Mike Bolt
Yeah.
got to bring the Cup back both times.
Yeah. So, I mean, you're very naive when you're that young, and you won in 2006. I was 24 years old, and you just think you're just gonna keep doing it. And that was a pretty great day. I was bringing it to Dalewood for my charity golf tournament. Unfortunately, it rained the whole day. We didn't get any holes in, but there was a ton of people there that came, signed some autographs, took some pictures of the Stanley Cup. And when you win the Stanley Cup, you obviously win it for yourself, but your celebration day is really for everybody else that has helped you along. And that's kind of what that day entailed.
Your third Stanley Cup, it was a big celebration at Coburg. Justin Williams Day, parade downtown, big celebration in Victoria Park, huge turnout. What did that day mean to you?
Yeah, so that day was really one of the times where I really was able to embrace kind of what I've done and what perhaps young kids look up to me. And that was really a kind of a moment that, all right, I've accomplished something that not many have, and certainly not from Coburg has. So, I need to take this and embrace this role of whatever that may be. And just seeing the turnout, seeing the smiles on people's faces, seeing the young kids look at you is very humbling. But at the same time, it gives you a real sense of ownership to be the person that they think you are. And I've always tried to be a great person, always tried to think of others. And as I said, the celebration is really for everybody else when you win the Stanley Cup. And to see the turnout in Coburg and to see the support that I've gotten, people cheering me on throughout the years following my career, was really rewarding for me to bring it back and see the response that I got.
Noah, I'll let you take it away with the rest of your questions.
When did you start playing hockey? At what age?
So Noah, I probably started to play hockey. My parents told me probably around 5 years old. That's probably when it really started for me. And I think if you ask my parents, they said it was kind of an instant love, just going out there and playing and skating. And most of the time it was with my sister and my dad. We had a tiny little pond in Port Hope when I was growing up there. So went out there obviously in the wintertime, skated on that, and I remember some really fond memories of that.
Have you ever wanted to play for the Toronto Maple Leafs?
Have I ever wanted to play for the Toronto Maple Leafs? Yes, definitely. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to make it happen, but playing for a Canadian team is something that I look back and I thought, that would have been pretty cool to do. But unfortunately, hockey isn't. You don't usually get to play where you want. You get to play where they want you, and that's a pretty good thing.
What was your favorite team that you played for?
See, that's a difficult question. It's a good question, but that's a difficult question. I think selfishly, I will probably defer to the teams that I won with, but each of them has its own little things that are special about, right? I mean, Philadelphia gave me my start. They drafted me. They gave me a door to get into the NHL. And I have a ton of great memories there. Carolina winning. I mean, that's and living here right now, that's obviously a big thing. And then having, obviously, I think the most success in my career probably, I guess arguably, would be in Los Angeles. And, and then a couple of years in Washington were great as well. And I guess to answer your question, Noah, I don't have one. I can't pick one. You just kind of enjoy your hockey career. And as long as mine is gone, I've been having some good memories.
Yeah, and what is your record for goals in a season?
My record for goals in a season, that would be 33, I believe, in Carolina. But you can fact check that for me, Noah, if I'm wrong. I could be wrong, but I think I'm right.
Is there any seasons from your real young days that you remember scoring even more goals than that, Justin?
I mean, I'm sure I did. I don't think they really kept stats very much back then. My parents may have a few, but no, I can't really think of any totals, and certainly no totals that I can fact check. That's for sure.
Well, Noah, thank you for those questions. Justin, I wanted to ask you, because you mentioned, going to LA. I kind of remember the end of your time in Carolina. You were dealing with a lot of injuries, and then you were traded in a deadline deal to the Kings. And at that time, they were a real young, up-and-coming team, and you expressed that when you got traded there, I remember. What a lot of success you had with the Kings. Of course, 2 Stanley Cups, and that core remained together for a long time. Just talk about coming in as kind of a veteran guy at that time and what that experience was like winning with that group.
You mean coming from Carolina to Los Angeles?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been very fortunate in the fact that the times I've won the Stanley Cup, the first 2 times were the first time the franchise had ever won. So in 2006, Carolina Hurricanes had never won a championship. And then in 2012, Los Angeles Kings had never won a championship before. So the city was just frothing at the mouth for one, right? And to be able to give that to them, to see the parade, to do it with teammates that you love, it's like nothing else I can imagine. And unfortunately, I'm never going to be able to have that feeling as a player anymore. But hopefully one day I can be a part of a team that wins it again.
Like I said, just with the injuries you were dealing with, like, were you concerned at that time that maybe your career was going to be shorter than you hoped?
Yes, no, absolutely. I had a really tough stretch of injuries. I had an ACL in Philadelphia. But then I had 3 straight years in Carolina where I had another ACL, a torn Achilles, a broken hand, really back to back. And I was just thinking to myself, geez, like, it's human nature to think, God, how much longer can I hold on to this? And fortunate for me, I went to LA, and the GM there, Dean Lombardi, was like, things happen in threes. That's it for you. You're going to be healthy for the rest of your career. And, the moment you can not second guess yourself in the fact that you're doing something wrong, you're better off. If you can just think like, all right, those are just bad, unlucky breaks. That's not going to happen to me again. I'm going to be healthy, and really believe that. I feel that's a big thing, that you can help to overcome. The mind is a very powerful thing. If you believe it, you can do it.
No, I just want to bring you back in for a moment. So yeah, you're a left winger. And is there anything you want to ask Justin about, anything you learned on the ice, or any skills you want to talk to him about, or anything like that?
Not really. I don't really know any.
That's okay. So Noah, if you were to describe yourself, and it's hard to do, what would you say your best qualities are, and the things that you maybe think you need to work on?
I think I might need to be working on my shot, my stick handling. I'm good at skating.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good thing, because you know what you can't teach? You can't teach speed. And if you're a really good skater, that's always a great start. The other stuff you can keep working on and get better at. But you can't really teach speed. So if you got some wheels in there and you got a good mind, you got a good future.
Yeah, Justin, Carolina, great team. How close do you think this group is to winning another Stanley Cup?
Well, the team here in Carolina they're a great team. Obviously, battle for the President's Trophy this year. So right there, you earn that element of respect. Obviously, being in a division with last year's Stanley Cup champion, the Tampa Bay Lightning, is tough. You got to think you're going to have to go through them at one point, but you got to go step by step. And right now, it's 2-2 with Nashville and Carolina, and I'm hoping the boys can rally around, and because the first round is I'm not going to say any harder or easier than any other series. It always seems to be the toughest, and everybody's ready to go. And we didn't get the breaks the last couple of games, couldn't get one past the goalie in double overtime, back-to-back games, but I'm still very confident in our team that we're going to advance.
I want to ask you about the Carolina hockey market, because a lot of fans from elsewhere often criticize, certain markets that maybe aren't the traditional hockey markets. From your own experience, describe the Carolina market and its fan base and the support you get.
Yeah, I mean, I think people will make fun of and look down on things they don't know about. And if they feel something is inferior to somebody else. And yes, do we have the fan base that these northern teams have? No, we don't have the biggest fan base, but we have a very committed fan base. And Raleigh, playing in Raleigh is in front of the Caniacs, which they like to be called, and what we call them is unbelievable. We have our own kind of niche here with the tailgating before, with just kind of the southern flair a little bit. And it's one of the loudest arenas in the league, and everybody can kind of say that, but I can say it and actually mean it, because it is absolutely bumping in there come playoff time. And if you look back to 2006 and you talk to people around the area of what that atmosphere was like, they will tell you it's the best experience of their life and the best sporting event that I ever gone to. And the fact that people stood the whole game in 2006 from start to finish and were cheering relentlessly. It's a great place to play if you're a hockey player. Obviously a place that I really enjoy.
I got to ask you quickly about the storm surge, because obviously that was criticized at first. Don Cherry thought you were a bunch of jerks. He even said, I can't believe Justin Williams would be a part of this, stuff like that. As I was watching that, as it showed a clip of, you bowling your helmet and throwing a strike, knocking all your teammates over. It was great. So he couldn't believe you were a part of it. What did you enjoy about the storm surge, though? Because when I heard that, I'm like, I'm sure Justin is a big part of this.
Well, listen, it's something that we really had fun with. And the problem with, here in Carolina was they missed the playoffs, I believe. Geez, I should know this, but I believe they missed the playoffs for ever since 2009 was their last year in the playoffs. So it could have been 9 years or 10 years. So it was a long time. And once you're not in the playoffs for a long time, the fan base kind of gets obviously a little smaller, maybe a little less relevant. And that was an upsetting part, right? So we just did something to kind of bring everybody back, get them talking about, and really enjoy victories with our fans a little bit more, and a little bit more interaction. And it's grown to something that I wasn't quite sure it would, but we had fun with it. just some heartless shenanigans after the game. And you can really see that people love it because when 5 minutes are left in the game, there's nobody scurrying to the exits. They all want to wait and see what's going to happen and enjoy the victory together. So I think that's for our market, something that we did, and something that obviously the guys continue to do this year.
Yeah. Justin, I know you have to go. Just rapid fire quickly. Rod Brindamore, the teammate, and Rod Brindamore, the coach. What was it like experience both of those?
Obviously, he's a little bit more vocal now. He was never really a vocal leader in the dressing room. I mean, he talked when he did. People listened, but he was just kind of a no nonsense, down to business captain. Obviously, when you're the head coach, you got to talk a little bit more, and he's one of the best. He's one of the best talkers, motivators that I've been with. Peter Laviolette is actually really another good one. That when they talk before the game, it kind of gets you in the mood. It gets you, if you need that help, which most of us don't, but it really just, it kind of will tip you over the edge a little bit. And, his commitment to the team, both as a player and as a coach, is unquestioned. And, for me, is a layup for the Jack Adams Award this year.
You were named team captain in your final season. What did that honor mean to you?
Yeah, it was a tremendous honor being named captain. I mean, there's 30 guys in the whole world that are able to, say that they're a captain at any given time in the NHL, and I was one of them. And that didn't go. That didn't go unnoticed at all from me. It was something that I really took a lot of pride in, something that I absolutely, relished. I wanted that opportunity, and something that I'm really proud to say that I was.
Just finally, the past few years, you've had the Justin Williams hockey camp in Cobourg. What's it been like to come back and work with not only local players, but you brought in, it's attracted families from all over the place to come to Cobourg. Yeah,
it's something that I'm really, really proud of. I've got some, maybe some things coming up locally too that I'm going to do. But for the hockey camp, it's something. Obviously, I'm excited to do every year. Unfortunately, last year we had to cancel it, and we haven't done it yet. But hopefully we can still hold it this year. I don't know what the government is going to do, but getting back to the camp, I wanted to do something within the community. I wanted to do something to help the community, and bring people in. And I did the golf tournament, but I felt that I could have more of an impact on kids' lives and hockey development if I actually did a camp. And I've had some great helpers that allow me to do it. And obviously all the proceeds, from the camp go to charity, so they don't go in my pocket. We try to, help a lot of local people out as well. And that's something that I'm very proud of and thankful that I'm able to do.
Thank you both, Justin and Noah. I appreciate your time today, and best of luck as you support your teams as the playoffs continue.
All right. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Noah.
Thank you.
It was really nice to meet you, kiddo.
Thank you again to my guests. I hope you enjoyed listening to this week's episode of the Total Sports Northumberland podcast.